They say history is written by the victors. But what if we told you there was a war so ancient, so buried, that not even the victors remembered it? Not until now. Tens of thousands of years ago, the Earth wasn't home to just one kind of human. It was a shared stage, a wild, unpredictable theater of survival. And we, Homo sapiens, weren't the only stars. There were others, Neanderthals, stocky, powerful, fire-wielding. They had language, art, culture. They buried their dead with flowers. They nursed their sick. They weren't dumb brutes. They were different. And then there were the Denisovans, mystery wrapped in shadows. Barely a few bones remain, but their DNA whispers across the genomes of modern humans from Tibet to Melanesia. Tall, strong, and adapted to the extremes. There may have been even more. The hobbits of Flores, the ghost lineages we can't yet name, the archaic humans who lived, loved, and vanished. So here's the terrifying truth. We weren't alone, not by a long shot, and we didn't just outlast them. We may have wiped them out. This is the forgotten war, and you're about to witness it unfold. Imagine standing on a misty plain in Ice Age Europe. Snow crunches underfoot. A band of Homo sapiens, thin, wiry, and fast, creeps through the forest. They clutch stone-tipped spears, eyes scanning the tree line. Ahead, they spot movement. Not prey, not predator, but people. Different, yet familiar. Shorter, bulkier, Neanderthals. Both groups freeze. A moment of recognition, a flicker of ancient memory, then tension thickens. What happens next? Do they talk, trade, walk away, or do they fight? This moment, played out thousands of times, shaped everything we know. The DNA evidence doesn't lie. In 2010, scientists sequenced the Neanderthal genome, and the world changed. Because when they compared it to modern humans, they found something shocking. Traces, residue, genetic fingerprints. Most people outside Africa have 1 to 4% Neanderthal DNA. It's in us, part of us, which means we didn't just meet them, we mated with them. Same goes for Denisovans. Their genes linger in people from Papua New Guinea, Australia, Tibet. We carry their legacy in our bones, in our lungs, even in how we process oxygen at high altitudes. So were we enemies, lovers, both? The lines blur, but one thing's clear. We survived. They didn't, and that's where the darkness begins. See, this wasn't a fair fight. It wasn't a battle of brawn or brutality. It was a battle of minds. Homo sapiens had something terrifyingly effective. Complex language, the ability to plan, gossip, organize. Our brains lit up with symbols, with stories, with shared imagination. We could rally 100 people toward a common goal.
Once,
We
in
painted
the great
stars on
hunt,
cave walls.
a mighty
We
beast
carved
with
gods out of
horns like
bone.
the crescent moon
We didn't just hunt,
charged
we
from the
dreamed.
shadows.
And dreams in a world of predators are weapons. Some researchers believe it wasn't direct slaughter that ended the others. It was something worse. Out competition. We spread faster, hunted more efficiently, took the best land, left scraps behind. Neanderthals, who had survived ice and beasts and bitter winters, were slowly starved of territory, mates, and hope, until they disappeared. No last stand, no burial site packed with bodies, just a fading trail through time, until only we remained. But what if it wasn't just accidental? What if we did kill them? Some archaeologists believe conflict was inevitable. There are Neanderthal bones with marks that could be blade wounds. Others suggest Neanderthals tried to resist, forming alliances, even adopting tools from Homo sapiens. But they were always behind. And then there's the possibility no one wants to say out loud: genocide. Because here's the thing. If Homo sapiens were willing to exterminate each other for land and power, why wouldn't they turn that violence on a rival species? Especially one that looked just enough like us to threaten, but not enough to belong. It's the oldest story in history, us versus them. And maybe, just maybe, it started here. But this isn't just about the past, because traces of this war still live in us. You've heard the phrase survival of the fittest. But what if part of our fitness was inherited from the very people we replaced? That Neanderthal DNA? It influences everything from our immune systems to our risk of depression, some of our strength, our adaptability, maybe because we became hybrids. We didn't destroy them completely. We absorbed them. And in doing so, we became something new. But here's the haunting twist. Even as we carry their blood, we forgot their names. Now imagine this. You're standing in a cave in France. On the wall, beside paintings of bison and deer, are handprints. Some large, some small, some not quite human. Were they left in mourning or longing? Because they're not just ancient graffiti, they're echoes, reminders, that we once lived side by side with other humans and then watched them vanish. And the silence that followed, it wasn't victory, it was loneliness. Today we pride ourselves on being the only human species left. But is that something to celebrate or mourn? Because here's the hardest truth of all. We didn't win because we were better. We won because we were more ruthless, more clever, more lucky. But what did we lose? What songs did Neanderthals sing? What myths did Denisovans whisper to their children? What stories died with the last of their kind? We'll never know, because we didn't just erase them from history, we erased their future. But maybe not forever, because now through ancient DNA, through archaeology, through the rediscovery of these lost relatives, we are remembering. The war is over, but the reckoning has just begun. If you're still watching, you're part of something rare, someone willing to look back, not with arrogance, but with curiosity, with humility. And maybe that's the most human trait of all, not dominance, but the ability to imagine lives other than our own. Let that sit with you. The war between humans wasn't just about extinction, it was about identity. And as we look into the mirror of our species' past, we might just see who we really are and who we could have been before the silence. And if this story stirred something in you, if it made you pause, reflect, or even feel a flicker of awe for the humans who came before us, don't let that feeling fade, because this is the
Our
kind of history
ancestry
that doesn't get
becoming
taught in
myth,
textbooks.
memory,
This is the
and
forgotten
meaning.
truth of who we are and who we had to become to survive. If you want more stories like this, deep, emotional, untold truths of our shared human past, hit that like button. It helps more people discover these hidden chapters of our species. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We're diving deeper into ancient mysteries, evolutionary battles, and the echoes of lost worlds. Because to understand where we're going, we need to remember where we came from. Thank you for watching.